you for sharing those thoughts, and there's a lot that you shared. I just want to say something prompted by what you said about this disappearance of Nyaya. And and this also connects to the question of language and translation. So I feel and that we really should try somehow to make an effort to learn the classical languages. I think, so whatever that might mean, certainly it would mean Sanskrit and Farsi, maybe it would mean other things as well. Tamil, yeah. So, no, I mean the classical languages. Yes, the classical languages. Because in some ways I feel that if we are, however much we might talk about, sort of, I'll use that same word, aboriginalizing certain concepts. But if we really want to think about traditions of thought and not remain presentist, what I find really disturbing today is this presentism. I mean, we've been speaking in different ways about memory and forgetting and so on, but that I think we need to have some understanding of our own traditions of thought. This was a realization that came to me also fairly late in my career. So I also started studying Sanskrit quite late, and I have to confess that although I studied it for a few years, I never became fluent in it. I wish I was, and I hope at some point I will be. But I really feel that is something that is extremely important, because if you look at how what gives depth to a study of the present in terms of intellectual practices or aesthetic thought or any kind of creative thought, there has to be some understanding of the longue durée. It doesn't mean that it's all continuous and there are no breaks, and obviously, but something like that. And I also feel, it's just the last thing I'll say, I feel like we have ceded too much ground to reactionary forces precisely by neglecting, by entirely disavowing these traditions of thought, in the name of being secular or in the name of being modern or in the name of being whatever. We have simply given away, what is our wealth. So I just want to stop.
But this is something we don't expect of an European scholar. But this is something that South Asian scholar is expected to.
But you look at the major European thinkers.
But
they know very well.
But the Marx didn't study, Indian languages while writing those notes.
They know their tradition.
Their tradition they know, but while they were talking about our culture, we didn't expect them.
But we should know ours.
That's true, absolutely, and there's no dispute.
You read any major European thinker, they know the Latin tradition, they know the Greek tradition.
Max Muller, yeah.
No, it's not about traditions. I say one point.
Mike.
Now the theoretical edifices are so huge. I just saw. I think you did a project on thought geography. I don't know much about that. It's now the thought superstructures are so huge. So it is not possible for someone who is really interested, not belonging to a tradition. Yes, I am a critical Marxist and I remain there. I mean, nobody can say that for the rest of his life, her life, he would be or she would be there in the same sort of tradition. But somehow, on one hand, there is this extreme availability of things, and on another hand, limited time, and obviously our limited, eagerness also. So one thing is that can we be a little bit conceptual venturist? The nomadic word came in one of the presentations. It's like a strolling. It's like a huge edifice of ideas everywhere around, and there is a stroll. I mean, Walter Benjamin mentioned about the strolling in a very big way when he was talking about the modern facades of Paris and things like that. And by strolling, every individual creates a very sort of specific contextual pathway limited to that time. So that way, I mean, when you were talking about whether Marx read Indian languages, but when I suddenly see in Lacan a reference of Abhinavagupta suddenly comes there, obviously one can expect that Lacan might not have got the chance and it might not have, you know, rendered everything, that all the tradition of Abhinavagupta, but there is a sense of strolling, found something in a different tradition, and he thought that okay, it might come in his writing. So that's it. I mean, and if quote unquote they can do it, why we can't do that strolling? Why we always have to feel that, you know, I have to know everything about European total tradition and then only I'll be in a position to make a small comment, or you know.
Here, thank you all for your suggestions, comments, and we are just ending here this session.